I'm Adam Johnson. My wife and I have grown our real estate business from nothing into the millions, and now my life's purpose is to show you how we did it so that you can do the same. Starting this month, I'm uploading a ton of free and very helpful videos that will be your step-by-step guide to starting an Airbnb business utilizing our go-to property acquisition technique called Subject to. Follow along these course videos, take notes, and dive into the exciting, challenging, yet very rewarding world of real estate investing with me, Adam Johnson. Enjoy.
All right, guys, how do we evaluate potential subject to deals? Obviously, this video looks a lot different because I want to be able to share my screen and show you, work through a problem or work through a potential property with you guys. So let's not even waste time, jump right into it. So you guys have this in your downloadable files. And what this is a calculator that I've created to be able to give me an understanding for the next 12 months, 60 months of what our potential profitability should be. Before this, we kind of just guessed at it, but we created this and we have used this exact spreadsheet to buy our last probably 35 properties. So let's jump right into this and we'll go from there. So you can see at the very bottom left, you have your legend. Your yellow is the numbers that you're going to input from your information that you receive on this property and also through doing your research. You have your constant numbers, which are going to be numbers like your closing costs and those types of things that are pretty common, pretty close to a strong estimate. You don't have to be exactly on the penny. And then you have your blue is your auto calculations. Those are the cells that have already been formatted to work without you having to do anything on your end. So let's just try one as an example. So let's say we have 123 Main Street. That's our property address. Let's say that the property, the estimated comp is, let's say, $200,000. Now, what do I mean by estimated comp? Estimated comp means what the property is worth in top dollar market value. So how do I get an estimated comp range? I like to send my properties that I get as a lead to 2 or 3 of my realtor friends. I'll have them run what they call a property analysis or comp regarding comparing my property, my subject property to other properties in the area that fit within reason the same criteria. So for example, if I have a 1,500 square foot house with 3 bedrooms and a bonus, they will look for other 1,500 square foot homes with 3 bedrooms and a bonus within a 2-mile radius to kind of see what properties you're going for in that market, and roughly what you can sell the house for if you were to fix it up and sell it for top dollar value. So let's say for our subject property, we have a $200,000 comp. That's what it's worth top dollar. Let's say that the owners have had the property for a year and a half and they owe about $197,000. Give me one second, okay? And you'll see how the numbers all auto-calculate for you. So with this, with a property worth $200,000 that you only owe $197,000, you would think that the seller has potential profit or equity of $3,000. However, in most cases, we always calculate for 10% to go towards closing costs. So let's say if we were to buy this property and fix it up, and $200,000 is what it's worth, I know that I have to pay about $20,000 in closing costs. Where's the number coming from? So the 10% rule is what we use. That accounts for 3% for the seller's realtor, 3% for the buyer's realtor, and 3.5% to 4% for title fees, closing documentation, insurance, and everything else that the title company does for us. So as a rule of thumb, no matter what house that we are selling or purchasing, we always look down the road. When it's our turn to sell that property, we're going to be the ones paying that closing costs. So I tell the sellers, if the seller were to list this property with a realtor based on the fact that they owe $197,000, they are negative $17,000 out of pocket to sell this house. Meaning, if they sold this house for $200,000, they'd have to bring $17,000 to the closing table just to get the house out of their name. No seller wants to lose $17,000 to sell a house. That's where we come in and we can offer them our subject to transaction so they don't lose $17,000 to get rid of a property that they do not want. So moving on with our scenario, let's say that this house we believe will rent for $1,650, okay? Let's say that the mortgage payment is about, let's say, $1,150, okay? You can see that we have a monthly gross of $500. Now, line 10 is a management fee. We personally do not use management companies for our real estate. We manage all of our rental properties. We have quite a few. We have a lot of rental properties, and it takes us about 15 whole minutes per month to check on our rental properties because we have systems in place. That's something I'm going to teach you guys in a different course. But let's say that you want to hand your property over to a management company. Just for example, generally speaking, the management company will charge about 10% of your rent. So that would be $165 in this scenario. You can see that your monthly net obviously goes down because you're paying someone out, which comes out of your profitability. So we will go back to zero because we don't use management companies. We'll maintain that $500 a month monthly net. And you can see our yearly cash flow. So this is our cash flow. We're profiting $500 per month. Our yearly cash flow, and this will be 500 times 12 months will be $6,000. Now, you see line 13 is your monthly principal pay down. Now, every month that you pay the mortgage, some of that money, not even half of it, goes towards the principal pay down. So if I owe $197,000 on this property, every month as an estimate, we can calculate that we're paying down about $220. Now, this number comes from actually your mortgage statement. So once you get the mortgage statement from the seller, you can plug this in and have a better idea. So let's say that this house we're paying $262 over the next principal pay down each month, roughly. Again, now I just want you to know that that number, your monthly principal pay down, goes up. It increases every single month by a few cents or a few dollars with every payment you pay. Along with the interest payment that you pay every single month, the interest payment goes down. So let me just say it one more time very clearly. Every time you make a mortgage payment, every single month, you pay a little bit more towards the principal and a little bit less towards interest, okay? That number, that ratio is not really favorable until you've paid about 13 to 15 years. So if you look at your mortgage statement and you've been paying on your house for 5 years, you might just cry because you haven't paid hardly any of that mortgage payment has went towards the actual principal. So let's go over here to our right column, and you'll see that we have calculations for what we may have to put into the property. So let's just say that this house needs about $2,000 of repairs. It needs a few new vanities, a little bit of paint, and small things here and there, okay? My closing cost of my realtor, or I'm sorry, my attorney is actually only $250. That's my constant. Yours may not be that low, but my attorney gives us a deal because we bring so much volume to her. So let's say that that's my constant. Every time I have a closing, I know that it's going to be about $250. My initial utility cost, because when you assume or acquire the property, you have to get the utilities turned over. So as an estimate, we use $250. That's going to be different in everybody's different markets. So these are just rules of thumb, estimates that help us make a good decision. Cleaning costs, depending on the size of the property, it can cost $300, $400, $500, depending on the condition of the property. So for us, a 1,500 square foot house in good condition may cost us about $300 to clean. Okay. Now, the automated blue, the vacancy repairs, we automatically calculate for at least 1 month of vacancy. Okay, so that number is going to mirror whatever our monthly rent is. And let me just say, full disclosure, we have never had a property sit vacant for more than probably 2 weeks. Never, ever, ever. But however, we still want to calculate it because it's always a possibility. So what this total investor cost me, this is what it's costing me to get into this property on day one, okay? That includes my upfront costs, my constants, and then my potential vacancy. Let's say that we negotiate that the seller will pay us, let's say $4,000, okay? And there's reasons behind that. We'll talk about in a different negotiation class. But this has happened many times where I've had them pay $4,000 for closing costs. And if you look, you can see that our investor net in deal, with all of this considered, we're only into this house for $450. That's right. We are taking over property for $450 into the deal on day one once we acquire the house. That's powerful. That's not $450,000. That's not $200,000. That's $450 to own and control a property that's worth $200,000. That is the beauty of subject to investing. Now, all these calculations down here, all the auto calculations are just good things to know so that you know how profitable you should be. So you'll see that the 12-month ROI in this scenario. So if we put 450 into the deal, but yet we're making 6,000, there's a 1,233% return. You don't get that in traditional investing. Most investors will buy a property, they'll put 20% down, and they'll make 8% return, not 1,233% return over the next 12 months. This is a powerful reason that we love and invest in subject to properties. Break even. This is break even in months, okay? So let's just say that what this number is the number of money that we put in, the amount of money that we put into the deal, which is 450 versus the net income each month. So if we put $450, it's going to take us, and we're making more than that in the very first month, it takes us less than 1 month to get our money back. Let me show you how this works. So let's say that it's going to cost $6,000 of repairs. You can see the numbers drastically change. Now, in this scenario, we're $4,450 into the deal, and you can see our break even. It's going to take us 8.9 months to get all of our money back. That's a very important calculation. You want to know what your break-even ratio is. So I don't want to take a property that's going to take me 2 or 3 years to break even. I want a property that gets my money back as soon as possible, and I can use my money elsewhere to go buy other properties. Now, what you can also see is a 5-year cash return. That is your net over 60 months. This house should make you about almost $30,000. Now, you'll see here I have a 12-month cash return, a 5-year cash return, but also have an actual return and an actual return here. What is that number? This number takes into account your tenants also paying down your payment, your monthly mortgage payment for you. So this actual return is your net return plus your principal pay down, creating that more equity. Now, this number is what I call a phantom number. You don't realize this number until you sell the property. So you're not going to be able to see this $8,694 into your account, but you will see this number. When you sell the property, if you were to sell it after 12 months, in theoretically, this would be a realization of profit. I'm gonna take that back. If you were to, how do I explain this? If you were to calculate in with your net versus 12 months worth of your principal pay down, this will be your actual cash return. Likewise, if you look at the 5 years, you have 5 years of your cash return, but also 5 years of paying down your mortgage gives you this actual return of $53,640. This is the number in theory that you will realize plus the equity when the property value goes up is what you should realize once you sell the property. So this is a great tool. It's not perfect by any means, but it's not perfect by any means. However, it does give you a good place to start running your numbers, looking at your profitability, looking at how long it's going to take you to get your money back. Super, super important is how long does it take you to get your money back. If you invest in real estate, like a lot of traditional real estate investors that have a 10% return annually, that means it takes them 10 years to get their cash on cash return back. With this method right here, it takes us 1 month or less based on these numbers to get our money back that we have in the deal. That's it, guys. That is as simple as it should be for you guys. Please use this calculator when you're running your numbers. It's very beneficial. As I always say, you have to develop your criteria to see what's a good deal or bad deal for you. For me, this property that this subject property that we just used as an example is a fantastic deal, and I will jump on these deals all day, every day. So if you come across a deal like this, you're not quite sure and it's too risky for you, send it to me. I'll be happy to purchase the property. I'll give you a great referral fee as well. That's it for this class, guys. Until the next course, we'll see you guys out there. I appreciate your time. Go buy some real estate. We'll see y'all later.
Thank you for watching. If you got lots of value from our free content, you're going to love the one-on-one coaching, group coaching, and seminars that we offer on our website at reisimplified.co. We look forward to guiding you through the early steps of building your business, buying real estate, and working towards financial freedom. Let's go buy some houses.